All right, let's get a check of your first alert forecast now with meteorologist Tony Shivaroli. I wanted to wait until the stinger opened up so we can see him.
And it is very hot out there, Tony. Seems to just be sticking around lately.
It's not going to be anything that we can really shake off this week, guys. We just continue into this basic pattern where sunshine's going to be there. Yeah. We heat up a little more each day, and by the weekend, feel like temperatures in the low 100s. Whew, it's going to be toasty out there. Got to make sure everyone's doing their best to keep it cool. It's a little bit easier for today because we don't really see that big rise in humidity that we have the potential to see during the weekend. And as of right now, we're going to be, of course, getting some low 90s for the afternoon and currently upper 60s, low 70s, widespread across the Midlands. Let's start out here towards the east, over towards Manning. You got upper 60s right now. Not too shabby. It's a nice morning. Going to see a beautiful sunrise there. Well over towards the west as well. Chester, Newberry, Saluda, looking all right, going over towards Batesburg, Leesville, a little milder, around 68, and then Lexington holding steady at 74 still. Columbia, you got 72. Camden, you got 72. Much the same for Sumter. St. Matthews down to Orangeburg. Everyone going to be seeing some slight temperature differences, but we get at it with those low 90s into the day. All that heat working to be on the increase today. Humidity by Friday into the weekend in a bigger capacity, and that's why we see a few weekend storm chances. Still not convinced it's going to be that stormy, just more so a few here and there that will be trying to bubble up. And of course, until we get to that point, here we go with the heat and humidity combined. More heat index values into this week. Look to touch upon 100 degrees. We're getting closer and closer for Thursday and Friday, but likely we'll get there into the weekend. That is, of course, going to be something as we still see temperatures rise and we still work to hold on to some hazy sunshine. Today, it's just not as hazy. We're still going to be getting, if you could see these little wind arrows on your screen, more of a breeze out of the north. Obviously, it's still going to be hot out there. We got low 90s. It's summertime. You know, it's not going to be feeling that comfy if you're sitting out in the sun too long. But you, of course, are going to be a little bit more in the way of able to stay with more comfort, especially with breaks in the shade today because it lacks with that big area of humidity that we can see later on into this week when winds are more out of the south. So we go on to Thursday. We're starting to see a little bit of a change up and more of a westerly situation with those winds. Highs in the mid-90s tomorrow, okay? But not much in the way of anything of precipitation. A few clouds try to mix in. And then Friday, we could see a few little shower chances. A couple storms possible, trying to pop in the afternoon. Not going to be the biggest storm threat, but still in that very spotty sense, we could see it. With this wind now, look at those arrows, south and west. Getting a little moisture back to the region with the heat that's not gonna quit. Into the day, it's going to be a good one for the pool, that is for sure. Whatever you need to do to keep yourselves cool and comfy today, whether it is finding a pool, just having, of course, the ACs and the fans going, just getting some breaks in the shade. Again, that's going to still be crucial if you need to get some work done outside because it just can make all the bigger difference, you know, getting out of those UV rays for a bit, all right? Of course, we go into those low 90s. Overnight, we get back to the upper 60s. Good amount of that clearing remains in the skies after a lovely sunset. For Thursday, getting hotter again. Mid-90s are coming, and then we see those temperatures tracking towards your weekend outlook. Slightly hotter, more in the way of humidity. Feel like temperatures getting back to that realm in the lower triple digits, just above 100.